Are we live? Yes, we are. Hello, everybody. I'm back with another installment of Born and Raised, my perspective pregame show on my favorite team, the Buffalo Bills. As you can see, I have my pregame suit on, getting ready for the game tonight. Buffalo Bills and the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field. It is a night game, Sunday night football on Fox. You know it's a pregame special when you see a Sunday night football game on Fox. And it's going to be a good one. A lot of the starters are not playing tonight. So you won't see Allen. You won't see this guy right here, Coleman. You won't see Cook. You won't see the entire offensive line. They're taking the day off. Got a little too drunk last night. So we're just gonna keep it. We'll keep it a bean. They're just sitting it out. They're just sitting it out this time. We don't really need them anyway. So, three things that I'm looking for tonight in this preseason game. Number one, no injuries. Number two, no injuries. And number three, no injuries. I just don't want anybody to get hurt. Don't want anybody to get hurt. These games really don't matter. The win loss, because like we lost last week on my birthday. Usually I'll be pissed off about that. But I'm understanding. Josh Allen wasn't out there. We're just seeing who is going to make this 53-man roster and who's going to be with us to gear up on to make a run to a Super Bowl. All right, so I feel like ever since I do this show every week, so it's a lot of stuff that happened during that week. James Cook got his money, which I am happy about. The topic of conversation though is how much he actually got paid. 4 years, $48 million, $30 million guaranteed. That works out to about 11, 12-ish a year, I believe. I figured that would be the number they would get to. They wasn't going to give him $15 million. They was just going to get rid of him if that was the case. He held out, held in, because, he still wanted to be here. Brandon Beane told him, if you don't come to practice, we can't talk about a contract. So he came to practice. They talked about a contract. Next thing you know, he signed. So that's over with. So I don't know. I feel like we need him on the team if we want to go win the Super Bowl. He's a vital piece of the offense. He scored 18 touchdowns last year, including the playoffs. And that's the second most in franchise history in one season behind OJ. Rest in peace to the guy. So we need him. But a lot of Bills fans don't feel like we should have paid him that much. But that's better than paying him $15 million a year because he does not play more than 48% of the snaps on offense. So good number to get him at. He got him back on the team. So that's great. As I said before, we lost a preseason game last week against the New York Giants. I think they heard me call them New Jersey, and I think they got mad about that. So Brian Dable here and Russell Wilson and Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart actually looked pretty decent. He looked pretty decent. He's not ready to start yet, but from what I've seen, first time playing against NFL talent, whether it's second string or fourth string or whatever, they work at Wegmans or whatever. That's his first time playing against NFL type dudes, and he held himself pretty well. So I think he got a good future over there. Russell Wilson's still gonna be the starter over there, but it looks like they got somebody in Jackson Dart. We had joint practices with the Bears this past week. Josh Allen threw 3 interceptions. I'm surprised that didn't get any further past X or Twitter or wherever you want to call it. Because anytime he turned the ball over, everybody, see, turnover machine. But the practices, they were physical. It was reported that the Bills were ultra physical. It was sounding like the Bears were more physical and they were just matching the intensity, but they were approaching the practices with physicality, and that's kind of an indication of how they want to play. They want to be a more physical team instead of finesse, and they want to run the ball more too. They want to control both lines of scrimmage, and you can see that judging by how they drafted. They went heavy on the D line, which they needed to. They really did need to, because we need depth there and we need a better pass rush. I don't know if you hear that in the background. It's my kids slamming the door in the other room. They have really nothing to do until the Bills come on. I mean, I run them around the block and everything, try to get them tired. They stay up all night talking about the Bills. I mean, it's in the blood. It's in the blood. But before I get any further, I told y'all to bring the beers because last week I was unprepared. It was my first episode. I didn't really know what to do, but I'm prepared today. And this broadcast is going to be brought to you by Budweiser. See, these are $1 at the store I go to. So I just get them in bulk and then get ready for the game to come on. As you see down here, I am an avid beer drinker and huge Bills fan. So, yeah. Let's get to my 3 players to watch tonight. Before I have a topic of conversation I wanted to get to. I was having a conversation with some people that follow football. Not necessarily Bills fans, but they follow football very much avidly. And we had a conversation about champions. We will get there in a minute. The 3 players I want to watch tonight, though, Deion Walker. Deion Walker looked very impressive. That is a big dude. And they say TV add 10 pounds, but he already had them pounds before he got on TV. That is a big dude. I hope he caused a lot of havoc on the line. And he's still raw. He got some things he got to work on, but overall, he is talented. He is talented. I'm looking at Moore, the wide receiver. He is on the bubble. Him and Tyrell Shavers. I hope we could find a way to get him on the team, but you got to play special teams. You want to make this roster. So that's remaining to be seen. And the last dude that I'm looking at tonight is Mr. Trubisky. He's going back home to Chicago, where he was drafted, and he is in the quarterback battle. The quarterback battle of the century that nobody asked for. Between him and Mike White. I wasn't really impressed with him last week, but he did play a decent game. I feel like there's some passes he missed because his arm strength is pretty crap. Backup wise, I'm not really either him or Mike White. If God forbid we got to knock on all the wood that you find in your path, Allen goes down. Do we really trust them two? Either one of them? Nah, no, we don't. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at tonight. The preseason week 2 against the Bears for the Bills. Now let me tell you about this conversation I had the other day. It was with a Cowboys fan and a Steelers fan and another Bills fan. The conversation was about how teams that have won championships in the past that are currently, I want to say trash, but they're not up to the standards of previous championship teams that they had. We had a conversation about how those teams are always going to be immortalized, whether they win it or not. And teams that don't have any rings or winning history or fans of those teams really shouldn't be talking about those teams. And this is what I feel. Okay, so because I'm a Yankees fan too. Y'all know me. I post on my page all the time. I'm a Yankees fan. We have 27 World Championships. We haven't won one since 2009. If I was to have a conversation about the best teams in the league right now, how many teams would you name before you name the Yankees? And it's okay. You go through it. What? The Blue Jays look good right now, right? Who else? Seattle look good right now. We just beat the Cardinals yesterday. But you wouldn't name the Yankees as one of the top teams in the league in Major League Baseball just because they have 27 World Championships. And that was my major point. So the Cowboys fan, the Cowboys beat the Bills ass in the Super Bowl twice. The Cowboys fan is like, yeah, we haven't been in the Super Bowl in 30 years, but we have a tradition of winning and you don't. And I was like, yeah, you do. But right now, who's the better team right now? Would you say Dallas is the better team or Buffalo? I just think fans that root for teams that have won championships in the past, that they actually got to see their team raise Lombardi or whatever trophy that you, whatever team that you root for, the Larry O'Brien or whatever, they have this sense of entitlement, which some of them deserve. Like Dolphins fans, I get no Dolphins fans all the time, and rightfully so, because right now we own the Dolphins. But they do have the only team to win the Super Bowl with an undefeated record. That's history. That's never going anywhere. That's fine to talk about. But when you bring up the 1969 New York Jets and say, you know what, the Jets are a better team than the Bills because they at least got a Super Bowl, most of us weren't even born yet. And if we were, we got canes and electric scooters and AARP shit in the mail. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you should be able to use past successes in current day conversations because, you know, us losing 4 Super Bowls from 1990, 1993 doesn't have anything to do with us losing 4 straight playoff games with Patrick Mahomes from fucking 2001, 2020, 21 till now. It has nothing to do with each other. They look eerily similar. Not gonna lie to you. Because think about the playoff matches with Patrick Mahomes. The first one, we was just ran off the field. That was a 2020 AFC Championship game. The next one, we lost in 13 seconds. You find painful ways to lose. That reminded me of the 4 Super Bowl losses, to be honest with you. It reminded me of that. And then, but past failures doesn't mean you're going to fail in the future. Now, if you're still doing it, then it's like, well, hey, where's the lie? Like the Bills, and let's be honest, this is our favorite team. Let's be honest though. We always gonna be 0-4 losers until we win a Super Bowl. We always gonna be, boy, I love losing Super Bowls. Lovable losers, miserable fan base, long suffering, yada yada yada. We always gonna be that until we win a Super Bowl. I'm not gonna tell you that we gonna win a Super Bowl this year. Only thing I'm gonna tell you is we have a great shot to do it. I just hope that when we do, everybody that was here tormenting us for all that time, don't go anywhere. Please stay around. Stick around. Cause we got some receipts that we gotta. What's that app? Ibotta. When you scan the receipt, you get money. We ain't gonna have a bunch of them motherfuckers. I'm telling you. We're gonna have a bunch of them. And on that note, let's open our beers. Let's synchronize our beers for a second before we get ready for this game to go on. Enjoy. I would have a scouting report for you. It's preseason. You don't get that content until the regular season start. Sorry. Or you can pay 50 cents and I can just tell you every day. 50 cents a month. I'm cheap. Yeah, I'm not expensive at all. I am a startup. I am not ESPN. But let me get to the scores here. As you see at the bottom of the screen, I figured that not everybody that's going to watch this is Bills fans, and I know a lot of fans from a lot of teams. So I just put the information for your team down here, so that anything you want to see, it'll be here. Such as John Mechie the third was traded from the Texans to the Eagles today earlier. I don't know if anybody saw that. The Eagles wide receiver core just got a speedster. John Mechie is fast. Okay, when I first seen him at Alabama, he got, what Gus Johnson say? He got getting away from the cop speed. Yeah. Philadelphia's wide receiver core. Philadelphia, dude. Howie Roseman is the best GM in football. I mean, like, when I saw him picking everybody from Georgia, at first I was like, yo, what the hell? But then I saw his vision after that. Those dudes were already teammates. It was the same NFL club, growing together, same defense. They know how to communicate with each other, and it hit the ground running from day one. That he is an excellent GM, dude. He really is. He really put the Eagles in position to dominate. And to, truth be told, they've been to two of the last three Super Bowls. If Jalen Hurts don't fumble in that first one against the Chiefs, we might be talking about another team being a dynasty. And that gets me to my next point. I want to ask y'all a question. Now you don't have to answer me now. You can inbox me or whatever. Which conference is the toughest conference in the NFL? I personally say the AFC. I think the AFC is tougher. I think the AFC, the gauntlet is tougher. The quarterbacks you gotta go through, the teams you gotta go through, it's tough. Cause Burrow, Holmes, Lamar, even though I dog Lamar on here, there's a reason for it. I would have said Trevor Lawrence, but he fell off. Bo Nix. Bo Nix. You gotta look out for Bo Nix in a minute. Bo Nix. Cam Ward is gonna be nice. From the U. Cam Ward. The throws he was making in that game. I know they lost. The throws he was making in that game. That man got an arm. Tennessee, if they build it right, they'll be back. And that's what I'm saying. All the quarterback, Shador Sanders. If Shador gets a starting job for Cleveland, he's not losing it. He looked like the best quarterback on the roster right now in training camp, right now. And, I don't know if y'all heard what Dylan Gabriel said earlier with the we just here to there's entertainers and there's competitors. I'm just here to compete. I know you know what he meant by that. Somebody asked him too, and he backtracked. He said, I was just saying, no, you was trying to make a statement in the middle of a quarterback competition. That's what I'm saying. The AFC. Now, the NFC got some good teams too now. The Packers are good. They're going to be real dangerous. The Lions are good. I like Minnesota. I like Seattle. The Rams. The Eagles, of course. The Commanders. That's because they have those teams, the quarterbacks. It's a quarterback-driven league, man. And anybody that got a young quarterback that played well the year before, coming back with the same offense pretty much, like Jay Daniels is, and he added Deebo Samuel. I just think, though, because of quality of quarterback play and the gauntlet that you have to face in the playoffs, I think the AFC is a tougher conference. Y'all can tell me what y'all think. Y'all ain't got to tell me now. Don't raise your hands all at once. Okay, it's kind of quiet. The 2, 3, 4, 5 people that was watching, it fluctuates. I appreciate y'all. Y'all could be doing anything else, but y'all here watching me ramble about the Bills. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Let's sip a beer on that one. I look for any reason to sip a beer. All right, 7:50. Right now it is about. Let's check the weather in Chicago right now. Summertime. All right. Everybody duck out there. Don't walk too far from the stadium if you're a Bills fan. O Block is around the corner. If you hang a right, you want to sightsee real quick, go over there and see it. Go and come back home. Now, if somebody approach you, just tell them you ain't from 63rd or 61st or any of the 60s. Okay? You're just trying to get some beers and you go home. Don't be stranded. Don't be wandering around out there. You know what I mean? But yeah, I love talking football, and I decided to do this because shit, I ain't got nothing else to do before the games go on. Yes, Ryan, Coach Ryan Gallagher, Tubi does have pregame shows now. It's free. You don't have to pay anything. It's free. But the acting is better. The acting is better. The budget is the same, but the acting is better. But no, back to what I was talking about. And Ryan, he did make a point. The NFC got the Super Bowl. Yeah, yeah. The Eagles are the best team in football right now. Constructed. I mean, just the way they constructed, top to bottom. This is hands down. There is no one. You know, Kansas City. A lot of people, criticize the wide receiver core, but they come on. They got Worthy. They got Kelsey still. He's getting ready to retire. Juju Smith-Schuster, he was really good in Pittsburgh. Um, they got a decent core too, but top to bottom though, Philadelphia is just, and then putting Saquon on that team is just we need an investigation. We need an investigation done. Yeah, just a light one, just a light investigation. Ryan, I just want to look into just a little bit because I'm mad at the Giants. You gave away Saquon Barkley to keep Daniel Jones just to draft another quarterback. I still don't know. We got if ain't. I just want to look a little bit. Ain't nothing wrong. I'll leave y'all alone. Okay, Ryan. That's Coach Ryan Gallagher too. He's the head coach down there, youth football program down in Philadelphia. He runs the Wishbone. Okay, he runs the Wishbone, folks. That's how you know he know football. The student body right all day long. No, but no, Marcus. Yeah. why we haven't won so why in that 29 years haven't we won? Marcus, you know why? Because in them 29 years, 17 of them years we wasn't even in the show. You know why? But you got a 5-ring head start though. The season the Cowboys have been having is not up to the Cowboys standards, and you know that. You know that yourself. So let's not even do it. Let's not even do it. That's what I'm saying. Teams with rings, like a Yankees fan, I expect excellence. I grew up watching them winning rings, dude. Rings. I'm talking about 3-peats, all that. And to see the Yankees now, this is not the Yankees. That should apply to you. You saw Dallas make a dynasty, a mini dynasty. Actually, no, not even a mini. No, you had an actual dynasty. So the shit you've been seeing recently is not up to Cowboy standards. It ain't. And if you say it is, you're lying to yourself. That's my overall point. Yes, you have rings. Yes, you are a story franchise. They call you America's team. And everybody in America hates you. I'm just saying. You have your respect. But we can still say you haven't been shit in a long time. We can still say that. Because some of y'all even say it. And yes, that's coming from a fan of a team that's never won shit. But yeah. But I digress. And it's just about getting there. See, we got this wall in front of us called the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, we were the only one dealing with this wall. It would feel worse than what it feels now. All it is right now is we're another one of the teams that they happen to dominate, unless it's Tom Brady led Buccaneers team or the Philadelphia Eagles. Because in the first Super Bowl, they didn't dominate, and I hated the way that game ended on that call like that. That was crazy. But that's really the only team that they really have problems with. Baltimore usually give them a run for their money, but they usually beat them. We beat them in the regular season, and they laugh it off and just come and take our hearts away in the playoffs. I don't see anybody taking them down yet. Not even us, because they have a switch that we don't have. And I hope we find that switch. Because we don't. If we lose them again, I will be in Orchard Park personally to hand Sean McDermott his pink slip. Because if we don't make the Super Bowl this year, he should be gone. Should be gone. I was packing this shit after the 13 seconds game. And they said, nah. Hold on. I know that was messed up, but let him give him a chance. So, all right. He got one more time. And he did it again. And I'm like, yo. Again. At home this time, no less. Bass missing a field goal. We going out sad, bro, against this dude. We going out sad. That's the bad part. But yeah, this year, I don't care if we beat them in regular season. I don't care if we lose to them in regular season. We have to beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. If we get to that game, whether it's divisional, because it won't be wild card. Because a lot of people picking the Chiefs to not win the division this year, which I don't know why. I don't believe in the Chargers or the Broncos or the Raiders. We don't take them down this year. We got to take a serious look at our front office, man. Serious look in the mirror. Get Sean McDermott up out of here. Get an offensive minded coach to unleash the beast for real. I would fire McDermott and promote Joe Brady. That's just me personally. It's me personally. But we got 2 minutes before game time. No thoughts really. It's time for some action. In the words of Redman. You know what I'm saying? Time for some action. Now I know if y'all comment. I know I'm reading it late because I gotta have my phone next to me. It's not showing up on the thing. I told you it's the free version. I told you can only read like 3 words at a time, and then they like, all right, you gotta pay. You know what I'm saying? So I can't even read your whole comment. That's messed up. They cut you off, not me. I didn't do that. But for the people that are watching, I appreciate y'all coming on, watching me ramble a little bit. To everybody that's not watching, kiss my ass. Now I'm just playing. I'm just joking with you. 7:59. Turn on Fox. If you got antenna, 29.1. Okay, face it north. You gotta face it this way, because that's where the tower is. Okay, it's on Hurdle. Everybody that don't have an antenna, you got cable, turn the channel fucking 29. It's still 29 on whether you got cable or not. And if you ain't trying to watch the game, I'll let you know what happened. But thank you for coming on again. I'll be here again next week. I don't even know who we play. I ain't even looking at the schedule. But I'll be here next week. It's preseason. What you want me to do? Yeah, we'll be here next week previewing that game. Gearing up for Sunday Night Football, Week 1 against Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, looking for revenge for the playoff loss here last January in a divisional round 27-25 thriller. I'm looking forward to that one. Thank you again, everybody, for coming. I'm going to take this hat off because it's hot. I only put it on for the show. Roll your eyes up, drink your beer. Y'all have a good one. Enjoy the game.